Ralph Helmick. I'm a sculptor and public artist. I was always struck by the power of visual art. I remember in maybe 5th grade seeing an extensive Van Gogh exhibit, and that kind of changed my life. I just thought, this is incredible. Even then, I realized how one could be profoundly affected by fine art. I have a undergraduate degree in American Studies, and that's from the University of Michigan. My American Studies degree was basically in service of a liberal education, which becomes less defensible in terms of economic trajectory as time goes on. I think that's a pity, because I think if you don't, when else are we going to study art history or read great books or do those things? The time to do it is when you're young. I had taken some time off between undergraduate and graduate school, and so I was in my mid-20s when I went to graduate school. And at this point, my high school buddies are kind of getting out of med school or law school or something, and then I'm a waiter in a restaurant, and it was kind of interesting. But I decided I'm going to give myself 5 years, and I set out a list of goals for myself. What would those be? At the end of 5 years, I want to have accomplished a one-person show on a notable gallery, been part of a museum show, have sold decent amounts of work or something. Just goals. I want to have established more of my own individual voice. Maybe it's all tied together. But I decided not to beat myself up year after year. And then I went to art school at the Museum School of Boston, and they kind of kicked me into the graduate program. But when I had the opportunity to consider public art, I think, well, this is great. It's kind of an opportunity to be more of a civic fabric. One could work really hard on something for several years, as I have been here for this project at ISU, and it can actually have legs, and it can also, people can see it over time, and maybe people who aren't initially drawn to visual art, if I make sure it's generous enough, it can find a home. Advice to a young artist or somebody going into a creative field, I would say, we just touched on maybe earlier, show up, really show up. And you may be, who knows, you may be tired from your second job, you may be hungover, you may be, but showing up shows that you take the task seriously. And it's amazing how things will get going.